Okay, so let's get to the second part of the equation, because earlier you said that the Jewish people, like, now are in a space of things are certainly better. We have our land, we have our strength, we have a way to defend ourselves in many ways, and many of us live beautiful lives, or have the opportunity to live beautiful lives. We live in free countries, et cetera, right? Although some of that seems to be becoming less popular of late. But certainly for the last number of years, we've lived in a relative prosperity. At the same point in time, you refer to us as purposeless, or right, that right now the Jewish people don't have a purpose. So going back to your personal story, after you have that experience, you can easily brush it off and say, okay, this is not a victim of anti-Semitism. This is not a big deal. Where does the fire come from to care? Because that's something that's unique, and that's actually what impressed me when I was listening to you on the podcast. I was asking myself, like, what makes this guy care so much, and what gives him the confidence to think he can do something about it? Do you know where that came from?
Yeah, so first of all, I don't think we're purposeless. I think we have a purpose. We're just not doing it.
When I say purposeless, we don't feel the purpose.
We're not doing it. And individuals do it, but we don't do it as a collective. So you can see like the Einsteins and the Freuds and these like brilliant people, even the Zuckerbergs, who create technology, shift the world the way it works, but we're not harvesting and using that energy, that power, that brilliance as a collective to bring lights to this world, not just to succeed in your own space and to be profitable and to be very rich, but to use that strength to collectively fix the world. And we're not doing that. And that's what I think.
What would that look like?
Again, our purpose.
Before we go there.
Yeah.
So fine. So that's for those people on the purposeless. And in terms of you feeling the confidence and strength and purpose to do something about it?
So again, it started very young for me, because I was asking myself, who am I? Where am I from? I know that I'm from Israel. I know that I'm a Jew before everything else. It's been always very clear to me, but how do I express that to others? Because I'm always moving around to new places. I have to introduce myself to new friends, to new communities, wherever I go. What do I say when I'm introducing myself? And that then shifted to understanding who I am, and then asking myself, okay, well, what role does that people have, and why are we being treated that way? And that evolved to me realizing, okay, our people have a purpose that we've been running away from. Our people are sometimes weak when we could be stronger, and I have to play a role to wake us up. So it was just an understanding of what my soul came on this earth to do.
And that did not come to you through struggle. That was just naturally.
I would say it came before the struggle. The struggle made it clear.
And what was the struggle?
The struggle was the first experience with anti-Semitism at age 7, other experiences afterwards, but that made what I felt I already knew very clear. It like affirmed everything that I already believed, but didn't really know how to say things, how to act on it. But I've always felt it from birth, right? That I have a responsibility in this earth to help the Jewish people.
And how young did you start your activism?
I would say from age 7 it started.
Really?
Yeah.
What did it look like at that age?
At that age, it meant conversations with your friends and explaining to them that we're all from Israel and that we're Jewish people, and that, you know, we have to remember who we are and not pretend to be, you know, in Miami you have the Jewish Community Center, you have the JCC, and they have Maccabi games, and you have Team Argentina, Venezuela, Panama. And so I would literally go to all my friends like, you're not Panamanian. Panama was an experience. You're not Argentinian. Argentina was an experience. So it started that way. In high school, I was throwing parties. All the money that was raised I was sending to Israel, to different places. All of my quote unquote birthday parties, you know, when you're little and you do birthday parties, when people would give gifts, I would ask them to always make it as a donation to a cause in Israel. So that's always how it was for me. And at 17, left and joined the army, and it continued and evolved from then.
Got it. I'm sure you've identified, and I see it this way, that for the most part, most young people do not see any purpose. And the other side of the purpose, which is the sense that I matter and I can do something about it. Like that confidence that I can do something about it. You agree with that, right? That most young people do not.
Young and old. I'd say most people in general.
Yeah. Unless there's a specific, I never articulated it this way, but unless there's a specific struggle, then it seems like the purpose disappears. Okay, I got to fight out of poverty. As soon as that happened, all of a sudden it was like, okay, what do I do now? And the amount of people who say, don't sell your company, because when you sell your company, you'll have nothing to do. Really? You know the amount of things I want to do, and if I've tried to sell my company a number of times, for whatever reason, it hasn't worked in my case, and I keep getting pulled back there. How would you address it? What would you
Well, I'll put it this way. I try to put tefillin every single morning. And when I do that, do it as a form of Jewish meditation. I focus on what I'm thankful for in this world. A lot of people don't realize, some people can't see, some people can't walk, some people lose their whole family. And those are things that we have and we should be thankful for every single day. And then I ask myself, what are the problems in this world that I see? What are the skills that I have? And how can I use those skills to solve those problems? And we need to realize that not everyone is going to be an activist for Jewish rights,
100%.
right? Some people care about the environment and pollution and animal rights. Some people care about psychology and dealing with people's traumas. Some people care about technology and making this world an easier place, right? People care about medicine. We all go to different places because we feel that our neshama, our souls, were brought to this world to create a tikkun, a healing, a fix, a fulfillment. And so we just have to be in tune with what that is. And I don't think you ever get to the answer, really, for the most part, if you're not asking yourself the question. You have to ask yourself the question, why was my soul here? Why do I see problems over there when someone else doesn't see problems there? What are the skills that I have in order to use that to go there, or skills that I can acquire? Public speaking is not something that I'm naturally good at. I'm actually very introverted as a person. So I had to develop the skills to do public speaking. Granted, the fact that I've had to travel and spoke languages and meet new people allowed me to develop out of my shell, but those are skills that I developed, right? So even the skills that you're born with doesn't mean that that's all what you can access. You can develop other skills in order to be able to fix the problems that you see, and also be in tune that those problems might change as time goes. You might see new problems. Those problems might be looked at from a different perspective. So be open to the evolution of understanding, but have your eyes open.